Hey everyone, that's right, I got my pink pig mirror. Rich knows this mirror, he has the same mirror, but we are here because Amazon has something wonderful. Let me get my two brushes out of the way. Now, if you know, I own the Gothic Beach palette, and I also own the Jeffree Star gold-blooded palette. They're both beautiful. I love them. I love them. I love them. But if you did not see his recent video, you all, he's on Amazon. Jeffree Star is now selling products on Amazon. So there was a palette that I had, but I gave that one to Rob's daughter. I think she still has it. I'm not sure. Anyway, she's like, oh, you have that one? I'm like, yeah. Now, I will let you know that there are some of the other items on there, such as lippies and other products, like some of the powders and all. But y'all, there's a controversy on everything. That's right. The mini controversy palette. I'm telling you, when I got this, there were only 4 left. Just 4. That's it. Just 4 of these. So, yeah. I'm just going to cut this open. Like, I'm not going to struggle with like trying to untape that. It has a warning on there, but warning because this is a controversy. Now, I love this. That's why I brought out the pink pig mirror. Because if you know, you know, you know. You absolutely know. And I forgot to grab any of my Jeffree Star lippies, but I'm not worried about that. Right now, we're going to open this up. Oh my gosh. I love the raised lettering on there. The packaging. I love that. I was watching before Jeffree Star decided to put everything on Amazon. Where's the little plastic gig? It's usually a plastic piece that goes over this. This is what it looks like. As you can see, it has a mirror. Look, I know not everybody is a fan of Jeffree Star. You're entitled to that. That's your opinion. And that's fine. So, and I don't have my glasses on. Does it have something on it? Yeah, okay. Anyway, well, at least they're not broken. That's a good thing. Because you know, some of our Amazon delivery people are not so gentle with the products. So, I'm going to show you the first 3. Right here. Those are absolutely gorgeously fabulous. Those are fabulous. So I will be doing a look with it. That's why I have on the Ordinary Serum Foundation for contouring. I have the Curse Cosmetics Moon Powder. And I have on under the eye, around here, I have the Gerard Cosmetics Lavender Setting Powder. And for the eyes, I have also the Gerard Cosmetics Concealer, or Primer. You can also use this as a concealer, by the way. I love those. Like I said, I get it. A lot of people are not a fan. What I am a fan of is the makeup. I will tell you that. You don't have to be a fan of Jeffree Star himself to be a fan of the quality. The quality of the makeup is something that you should think about because some of his stuff is made in Italy. That's a pretty expensive place. Here's the last 3. Look at that. Just go like that a bit. And you get, there you go. You see that duo? These are not in the Star Ranch palette. These are shades that he and Shane Dawson came up with. And I was starting to tell you that. I started watching Shane Dawson's old videos way before, I went back to watch them. Way before Jeffree Star announced that he was selling on Amazon, of all places. When I heard that he was selling on Amazon, I'm like, get the freak out. Awesome. Now, I'm not sure if I'll do my eyebrows yet. I'm not sure on that, but my brushes are clean, thank goodness. Make double sure of that. We'll just go like that. Yeah, that brush is clean. So I'll go into a neutral tone in here. I usually go for that, but we're gonna go here. That's a good neutral tone. So let me get that on there a little better. So when you're using an eye primer, you quite honestly, I love how that just went on. That is there. Without it, with it. I love a good eye primer. I accidentally creased that because that will help it stay longer. I know I accidentally stuttered. Anyway, now we're going to go into Diet Root Beer. That's right, Diet Root Beer, y'all. Look at that pigment. We're just going to take Diet Root Beer right here. Look at that. Shane Dawson, I don't drink Diet Root Beer, but the color is on point. Yes, it is. The dog's looking out the window. Like I said, I don't drink Diet Root Beer, but I will wear the color. I have another video to do after this one, so I am pre-recording a few things while waiting for my back to pop back in place. Yeah, that's a struggle. But here I am anyway, right? So now we will go into, I really love that, but I'm not sure if that goes with Diet Root Beer. Now, if you really think about it, if you go in the squares, that's supposed to be your quad choice of colors you can put together. So, quite frankly, that is in one of those quads of what you can pick for a color. So, I don't know, I really want to go there, but then again, I want to go there. It's so many choices, y'all, so many choices. I went right here. So we're going to go ahead and take that right there. I know I had the pig mirror, but I did that on purpose. Don't forget to take that right there at the brow bone. Poppins, what you doing? Steve's at work. So right now Rob is taking his daughter to her boyfriend's house. I was like, wait, she needs something. So I got my pink makeup bag, Jeffree Star, of course. The pink makeup bag is Jeffree. And I was like, hey, I'm like, come here. I'm like, you know the logo on this? She said, oh crap, I don't have my contacts in. She was like, wait. I'm like, it's Jeffree Star. She was like, oh, what? I'm like, come here. So I unzipped it and I was like taking a few things out. I was like, here. And her eyes lit. I handed her one of the glosses. She's like, oh. I'm like, you want to use it? She's like, yeah. I'm like, would you like have it. She's like, what? I can have it? Yeah, you can have it. I hadn't used that one, so I'm like, you know what? Let her have it. She'll use it. She's 16 now. She can use it. So we are now going to, oh, this is such a hard choice. We're going to go in here. Now that, my friends, we're just going to take right in here. See how you can just take those two colors. Now you can also wet a brush. See what kind of smaller brush I have. No, that's my angle. I'll just take this one. My brushes are Curse Cosmetics for the most part. I do want to get the Gerard Cosmetics brushes. Kind of dry it down a bit before you dip that in there. And then when you wet that brush and you go dipping in, look at what that just did. And then you want to make sure you do this the same. So you want to take that dry brush, otherwise they're not going to match. They're just plain and simple not going to match. So I'm going to take this brush, the damp brush, and we're just going to go like that. Like I said, it makes such a difference when you dampen that brush. Go a little further in. Now, I paid, what was it, $20 something for this. Y'all, yeah, and they all sold out. Now here's a good thing about it. Okay, you're moving product that you're eventually going to put in the vault. That way you don't just have the product sitting there in the warehouse kind of just withering away, aging. You don't want that to happen to the product. We're going to dip into that blue. And I'm just going to take that right there. Okay, Rob came back and I don't look the same way as earlier. Take it under like that. You can do that. You can blend it up just a bit with that. Sometimes Rob is baffled. He's like, sometimes it's, you know, hey, wait a minute. You didn't look like that a few minutes ago. And then again, you can go back in with that damp brush, pick up some of that blue. That actually, as you can see, that just darkened that. Now, like I said, I gave the other one to Rob's daughter, and that didn't have Diet Root Beer in the middle. That was the one that had the other shade. Originality, anybody? So I don't know if she still has it or not, but that's fine. But the thing, this is beautiful. Now, I'm also not done because I want to show you what you can do between this shade here. Take one of your fluffy brushes, pat that on there, and put that right there on your cheek. Now remember, that's a shimmer shade, so you could just put that right there on your cheek. And that's going to be wonderful. Just wonderful. I don't know how well you can see that. I can see it. Oh, there you go. I can see that. And I'm not even looking in the mirror for part of this. So, like I said, I know not a lot of you are a Jeffree Star fan. And that's fine. You don't have to be. Remember how pretty that is. So you could just pop that right back there. It goes well with these colors. Normally, I wouldn't do these colors. This is kind of stepping out of my comfort zone. Oh, you know who did a look like this? Xtina. She works for Jeffree Star. And you see her a lot on TikTok. But again, Jeffree Star. He's on Amazon with some of his products. So go over there and stay happy, stay healthy, stay positive, and as always, stay blessed. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye. And I hope that Jeffree and Shane come out with the Apocalypse palette like they were supposed to a long time ago. Really, I hope that happens. Anyway, bye. Amazon. Not a Jeff Bezos fan, but Jeffree Star.